Entrepreneurship is a tough journey, but very rewarding. For how long will farmers suffer like this? Look, I'm coming from a background of technology. I'm coming from Bosch. I come from Samsung, big technology behemoth, and I was at very top levels. I said, no, this is a joke.
Allan Oyier,
Yeah.
welcome to Beyond the Hustle.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for honoring the invite.
Yeah.
Yes. So you are a man who wears many hats.
Yes.
In tech, entrepreneurship, finance, and also in farming.
Yeah.
You have done quite a number of things. And we call people like you to be on the hustle to really share your story. We want people to understand the man behind all of these innovations and how it came about. So I just want you to take us through your journey, maybe where you are from, and what built you to who you are today.
I'm originally from Kenya. I come from a city in Kenya called Kisumu, a small lakeside city. And I grew up there and went to school in Kenya, went to the University of Nairobi. Later on, I did my master's degree with the Washington University. And I joined corporate. I worked for Coca-Cola as operations marketing manager, Eastern Central Africa, for 10 years. And then I joined Nestle as region manager, covering Equatorial Africa, East Central and Southern Africa for Nestle. And then I joined Samsung. I was director for consumer electronics and home appliances for Eastern Central Africa. And then I became vice president for Bosch in Africa. And as I was growing, I came across a lot of interesting things. One of the interesting things that I came across is the opportunity of helping others to create opportunity and drive sustainability for themselves. What do I mean by this? I'll give you a story. One of my favorite stories. It's called the hustler story. Right now, I'm a hustler. And how did the hustling come up? Somebody taught me. Somebody selling magwenyas. It's a small pastries on the ground. They taught me a lesson of hustling. This guy would station himself in the same place selling a bucket of pastries called magwenya in South Africa. This is in Midrand, Ranges Park, Midrand. And as I would be passing by the road every day, I would notice he's selling from the bucket. And one day, this guy stops me. And I thought there was an emergency or something, so I stopped. The last thing I expected to do was to buy the pastries, the magwenya. So he asked me to buy his magwenyas to promote him. I said, this guy has got quite some audacity, you know. But anyway, let's be humble and support a fellow African grow business. So I bought the magwenyas and I went. The following week, he did the same thing again. He stopped me. So I stopped and I bought again. Now I was finding him very intriguing. The third week, the guy actually asked me what I do. When he stopped me, I told him, okay, I help companies make money. Then he says, but can you help me make money with my company? I says, can you pay me? I asked him, can you pay me? He says, yes. I can pay you, but I can't afford it now. Because it was very expensive to pay for advisory services from somebody having my background. So I looked at him and I decided, okay, let me give at least something back to the society. You know, let me help this guy wherever I can to grow, because he's now becoming my friend, and I like him. He's courageous and he's a go-getter, and he's trying to just earn a living. How can I support him? Because many times in corporate, what happens is we ask entrepreneurs when we meet them, how can we support? Because we're thinking in a big way. But we never think of the small ways which are non-financial but impactful. So I decided, okay, I'm going to help this guy. I'm going to pay attention to his business and look at all opportunities, map them out, and come up with a plan to help this guy. Now, to cut the long story short, I provided the consultancy, the business mentorship, tracked this guy, helped the guy to grow from one selling point on a bucket on the ground to 6 selling points on tables. He became an employer of 12 people located in 6 selling points, and he would come round now distributing the pastries, the magwenyas, now different forms. He increased the range to 4. From 1 to 4. So he'd now distribute in these 6 selling points, and these people would sell off to the workers in the industrial park in Ranges Park, Midrand. For me, I said, wow, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
And it boiled down to such small things to make this successful. Paying attention, identifying the needs, putting up a plan, putting up all the compliance requirements, and tracking and helping this guy with business tools to manage the business sustainably. I mean, it blew my mind, but then it left me with a pain in my heart. What's the pain? I was asking myself, so how do we scale this kind of advisory services that we are providing? Can we, the first reaction is that we had is, can we get other corporate leaders to do the same thing, to give a little bit of their time back to the society to grow these small guys?
Yeah.
But then that is not very easy because corporate leaders are usually very busy. Yeah, they don't have the time. They might have the heart. Yeah.
Actually, now that you have said that, I wanted to find out, because I've been in corporate myself.
Yeah.
And what I had observed being in corporate is that we get too comfortable within corporate, because it's very comfortable.
Yes,
the pay is good, and all of those other privileges that come with being in corporate.
Yes.
And you find that while you are in corporate, you do get a lot of information. You have a lot of data to analyze. You see different scenarios of different things, because be it small businesses, medium enterprises, and other corporates, you work with in different capacities, and you get to know a lot of things.
Yes.
So when you are thinking about a business that is out there, small, they don't understand what needs to be done, certain technicalities, operational capabilities, but because we are too comfortable in corporate, we will not go out, because I always feel like the experience that we have of our people that are in corporate, if they were to come out, I think we'll solve all the problems that we have currently, right?
Yes.
What made you decide to want to step out and go and assist privately?
I saw the opportunity of being a business consultant at that level. With that success, I said, okay, can I give back to these guys? How would I sustain myself? Because that was the question. I'm a corporate head.
Yes.
Yeah. Can this pay me? Definitely no. But then if there are many like this, it can pay me. Yes. And I said, okay, so how do we work around it? The only way to work around it was to scale it using digital solutions. Yeah, through a mobile application that we built later on to help provide the same business tools and services to entrepreneurs to help them grow. So I said, now, with a mobile application, if these guys, we can give them value, then they can also share the value that they have gotten with us.
Yeah.
What do I mean by this? Look at it this way. The average call-out fee for a painter, a plumber, electrician, average here in Johannesburg, it's like 50 rand. No, not 50, 500 rand.
Yeah.
Right? So if somebody gets 500 a day, and out of that 500 a day, they give us back 150 rands once a month to use the whole bouquet of solutions we are offering. We are giving them websites. We are giving them customized websites for the entrepreneurs, the small guys, catalogs, invoicing solutions, quotations, statements, bookings, tracking bookings, all these CRM tools and ERP tools put together for the entrepreneur. It is so much value for them because it helps them to cut a lot of costs around admin, because there's a lot of administrative work when it comes to running business. It helps them access markets, because a lot of entrepreneurs are challenged to get the right person to buy their produce or the right opportunities. There are opportunities, but, just filtering them so that they get to know that this person has a breakdown of some plumbing in their house. This guy has an electrical problem. It is fragmented. It's not all put together, so it's not easy.
Yeah.
So by giving all these solutions for a price of about 150 rands, then an entrepreneur will be able to run their business the whole month for just 150 rands sustainably. And, this is something that when it is done by a number of people, then it would help pay for the app to run by itself.
Yeah.
This was a compelling proposition to courageously go into this project.
Yeah.
So there was value to the entrepreneur, value to my hustle as an organization, my hustle app as an organization, value to partners, because partners also need visibility on entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Say, for example, today you want to support the development of say artisans and carpentry or tailoring. You want to train them, or you want to provide them with tools, equipment, funding. How do you structure it? It is very difficult to get a good system to do this. However, for partners, they have such facilities where we give them what is called applications programming interface, APIs, that would enable them access visibility into the activities that all these entrepreneurs are doing, the non-personal information like data statistics on number of painters or what they consume or their preferences, but not the personal information, non-personal information. They can get this and be able to craft the solutions to even better provide tailor-made solutions to the same entrepreneurs, so that everybody in the value chain benefits out of it. Not only the entrepreneur, not only my hustle app as an organization, not only the partners, not only me as an individual, but everybody involved just benefits. One of the things that I would like to talk about at this point related to your question is for example, accessing funding. Accessing insurance, accessing financial services is usually pegged to the entrepreneur being able to provide credible data about themselves and their businesses.
Yes.
And now on the application, we have something we call a credit score system, which provides all that. It helps to de-risk small and medium-sized entrepreneurs like it has never been done before. And you see all these big financial services providers are always looking for these new ideas to support with dispensing their financial services. So this is just another way of doing it.
Yeah. I know that not just in South Africa, most countries in Africa are talking about SME development.
Yeah.
And the cry has always been financing.
Yeah.
But when you get to the financing part, which is the end, because the SME has to prove itself worthy of that finance to start with.
Yes.
They are not approaching the challenge from that area. I know during my corporate days, I used to work with SMEs a lot.
Yeah.
And one of the issues that we were struggling with as they come to seek finance was how they manage their accounts.
Yeah.
It's how they understand transactions within accounts and what banks are looking at.
Yes.
You know, how they invoice, you know, how they pay their taxes, all of those little things.
Yeah.
And you can find a lot of SMEs are making a lot of money, but they don't know.
Yeah.
Because when you don't, if you don't measure, you don't really know.
Yeah.
So you find that they are making money over the years, and at times when you approach them, like, but you can actually get funding to buy that machine that you want. No, I don't think I can qualify.
Yeah.
Just look at your books. Look at the books. You find that all of these things are coming together. I don't know from your own experience.
Yeah.
Are these some of the challenges that you have seen when you set up this app, and how do you think this app will be able to consolidate all of their challenges and be able to, one, solve the problem of the corporates, and then two, help the SMEs to be able to run their business affairs, nicely and be able to scale?
You know, you've taken the words from me. That is exactly what the application does. I don't know how you know it, but that is exactly what it does.
Yeah.
And probably that validates the research we did, because we went out and did thorough research across a couple of countries, in Kenya, in South Africa, in Namibia. We did some research in Nigeria and Ghana. And the research showed us the same trend. Somebody goes to look for money, funding. The first thing you are told is, can you give us some form of information? Yeah. Different organizations have different requirements, but it's all about giving us information to do what? To evaluate you. Evaluate you for what? They're doing risk analysis on you. Now, these guys will come, the entrepreneurs will present all kinds of formats. The common denominator in all these formats is that it's manual. It's unverifiable.
Yeah.
It's disorganized.
Yeah.
And like you clearly put it, somebody has the ability to access finance from what they're doing as a business, but they don't know how to show it. So we went ahead and digitalized all these things. All this bookkeeping, record keeping, tax compliance, invoicing, the invoicing solution on the app.
Yeah.
There is invoicing solution. These are booking solutions. All these solutions address what you've just said. Yeah. They put all the information together. And then what the entrepreneur does, they go to a partner who wants to support their business. They only have to click share. And it shares what? A statement. They only have to click share, and it shares what? A business plan, because the application gives a business plan. Click share, you share a business review. There is business plan and business review. The app automatically does all these things for you.
Yeah.
Click customer list. Click CRM. It gives you all these reports. And these are credible reports that you can give to any financial services provider to support, not only financial service provider, equipment manufacturers, input manufacturers. They can say that, okay, we can give you, because we see how stable your business, you can pick this equipment, work with it. You can pick a power saw, for example. Or a power tool. Rent it, you pay this, or buy it on installment, and we know you'll be able to pay it because of this data that we have, which is verifiable. A partner or a manufacturer only has to come back to us as My Hustle and verify this information. And we give them access to see that this information is genuine. There is a lot of checks and controls that we've put in place to make sure that this information is top-notch and of good quality to make the right decisions.
Yeah. So, and the challenges are, they are quite broad, from banking to, I can imagine there are so many corporates that want to work with small businesses.
Yes.
And at times they also struggle to work with them because they're like, we want to onboard this guy on our database. but the documentation is not in order.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think for so many years, there have been certain companies that have benefited just because they had that little information to say, okay, but Sasol needs for you for them to onboard you on the vendor list. They need you to have this document and this document and this document. And if you have them, you are just one of a few.
Yeah.
And you are able to be onboarded, you can do business.
Yes.
But most of the businesses are just in the gases, they're just dealing with the locals there. They wish to grow, but they can also serve at that level, not necessarily to become a corporate, because corporates are made by the small businesses.
Yeah.
So if they can be filtered into there by making sure that the documentation is ordered. So that's really what my Hustler app will be able to assist with.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, Allan.
Yeah.
You speak like someone who has always been enterprising.
Mm-hmm.
You for the positions that you have done in the past in corporate, one would think that you would be thinking in setting up an airline or all those big things, right? But it seems like you are an enterprising person and you are thinking just like a startup would think, to say, this is what we want to build, and we want to build it for the masses.
Yes.
So that then it can become a great organization.
Yeah.
So this enterprising mentality, where is it coming from?
I think I'm not very sure, but I will mention a few things. My late mother was an entrepreneur. She worked for Standard Bank.
Mm-hmm.
But besides working for Standard Bank, should also keep eggs poultry for eggs.
Yeah.
And she used to sell in a bakery near the lakeside city where we were living, where I was born.
Yes.
Yeah. So she was a worker at Standard Bank, but she had a side hustle of selling eggs to the bakery. She would keep the chicken. So probably it comes from there. Probably it was also honed. In my experience, working right across Africa, across probably 27 countries in Africa that I've worked in, I saw the same kind of thing where entrepreneurs struggle with this and that. And whenever I talk to them, especially related to the industries that I worked with, from Coca-Cola, you go and you see this guy is a customer of Coca-Cola. Mm-hmm. And he's got some small challenge that you can just help him by talking to him about it. Yeah. I didn't think at that time that this is business advisory services. But then I would tell him, why don't you look at it like this, sir? Let's do this and that and that. You change his route to market. He's a distributor of Coca-Cola. You help him change his route to market so that he sells more. Yeah. I remember in one city, a small town, we had challenges selling cases of soda. Mm-hmm. A whole case of soda is 24 bottles. Yeah. And you want shopkeepers to buy the whole cases of soda. Yeah. And they can't buy because they just wanted a few to just keep them going. In any case, it's just one or two. The economies in these places are low. Yeah. So how do you make sodas penetrate, penetrate there? Yeah. So we'd come up with things like them, two shops next to each other sharing one crate of soda, one case. They co-own it. Yeah. Small solutions like that in Coke. To even when I was in Samsung, coming up with ways of giving people affordable smartphones to get to penetrate into the smartphone market. Yeah. And in Bosch, we are also toying around with things like we created an off-grid chilling device called Fresh Box. This was targeting food preservation among the bottom of the pyramid. We were also exploring ideas around having washing machines being rented by young workers, people who are just starting off in life and they can't afford domestic workers, some commercial place where they can go and wash their stuff, even in education institutions, just these basic solutions. So I think all these experiences put in me that desire to always try and look for an opportunity to help others hustle.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is where I think I started hustling. I became enterprising or entrepreneurial in mindset as I go along.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's interesting that a lot of people who are in corporate, they have this desire to one day want to be doing something outside of corporate.
Yeah.
And I have observed during my days in corporate that there were very few people who were actually enterprising within the corporate.
Yeah.
Right? Because the corporate looks for solutions.
Yes.
And it looks for solutions from within.
Yeah.
So you find at times someone wants a solution done for certain clients. And asked to build to come up with a business case. And then that's where they drop everything. They're like, hey, you know what? I'm not willing to go through the trouble. And going, doing a business case, to go and present to the board or to the executive. It's basically just say, look, you see things that can actually grow the business. And the business will be grown by the solutions that you give to the small man out there who's a client to the business. If they grow, then the business grows. And I've always, seen that most people who have been able to do those things while still in corporate, they find it so easy for them to then venture out and then provide those solutions inside, and it becomes so easy. Otherwise, most people, when they venture out, they are thinking of setting up another Samsung. And then they want a lot of capital, and then everything crashes because they don't know how to build for the small man who actually builds the large corporate. And then family-wise, do you you did mention your mother. And also, do you come from an environment where enterprising it's really encouraged? Because I think, in Africa more especially, we have been enterprising before certain things came to us. We were selling this and that. But when education came, everyone was told to take the path of education and employment, right? Do you have a background of people who are enterprising that you maybe borrowed from?
Besides my mother, my father was also quite enterprising. First of all, my grandfather was a tailor. And his customers were the British. He used to make the official uniform for the British. That was a privileged position for my grandfather. He's the one who makes clothes for the big guys, big white guys. He was an entrepreneur. So these guys took him and trained him on tailoring, and he was official tailor at that time. And then he put these same things into my father. My father was an agriculturalist. He was working for a company that manufactures sugar. That is in Kenya. And he worked with a lot of entrepreneurs who are in farming industry. And he would always show us how the circle of entrepreneurship is challenging, and the people who are succeeding in the farming business, because he would advise them, he would help them, he'd give them agronomical services. He always used to tag us along. It wasn't a very nice, gisty job, so to speak, because farming, it's mad. It's not,
It's hard labor.
But I grew up, went to the university and went out and far and became an expatriate, went to Germany, Istanbul, came to South Africa. And then the guy in Rajaspark Midrand, he changed my mindset. He made me look at things humbly. The guy was selling.
It took you back.
Yeah, it took me back. And now all this flashback started hitting me. And then I started saying, wait a minute, my dad used to tell me to appreciate those small farmers who are trying to earn a living. They are the guys the guys really who had money in farming were the dirty guys. By the way, the ones whose farming enterprises were stable.
Yeah.
They're the guys who really had money, because we'd go to the banks. Maybe you go to withdraw money or to pay a bill, with their dad, and you see this dirty guy coming in with sacks of money, and he deposits in the bank.
Yeah.
But the guys who are clean like you and me were broke.
They were the ones collecting the money.
Yeah. So he taught me also something about entrepreneurship. And all these things now started ringing in my mind. Oh, so this is what I was saying. That is what I was saying. And you just talked about guys in corporate. They want to come out here, do something big with a big budget and come out shining, and then they realize it's not a bed of roses. It is tough. Actually, just to go on the side a bit, when we were starting this project, there is somebody who told me, I went back to Kenya one of those days, and this guy looked at me, you've been an expatriate running around the continent, meeting these big guys. Then he told me in a low tone, here on the ground, things are different. It's not those corporate things you guys are used to.
It's not as structured as
he said in Swahili, quote unquote, vitu kwa ground ni different. Things on the ground are different. It's not corporate. You have to be streetwise. You have to be smart. To survive. And he was right. It takes a change of mindset. For two people. Both for the hustlers selling pastries, magwenya on the ground, they have to change their mindset to think that they are going to grow. Because one of the mental barriers for such a guy is, will I really grow? Remember this guy at Midrand, Rangisburg, he told me that he was not sure that he could really grow, At some point he was worried, could he afford me? This is a senior guy. So you have to change your mindset to look for the opportunity, even have a chance to talk to a decision maker to help you just change a bit.
Just a bit.
And when you are in corporate, you have to be prepared to humble yourself, to look at things at a low level, so that it helps you have a balanced view. It helps you manage your expectations. But, it's tough. Entrepreneurship is a tough journey.
It's a tough journey.
But very rewarding,
Very rewarding. Perhaps we should get everyone who has a technology background and lock them up in a farm somewhere without resources and anything, so that they can apply themselves.
Because by the way, every year in most corporates, I think you also experience this, there would be a strategy day in big companies where the senior managers are locked somewhere in a resort somewhere. You're kept there, you're told, let's build the 2026 strategy. And it usually happens around this time. Between September, October, companies go on a retreat. They review their whole business for the year. Then they say, for next year, this is what you're going to do. And every senior head presents their part for our department or for our business or whatever they call it. This is what you're going to do. And then the head of the organization kicks off everything. So the same principle applies. When you lock, these Africans are very intelligent. I've seen right across, everywhere you go, Africa is never short of intelligence. It's how you're able to harness this intelligence. And a good way is keeping people away from distractions. And big global companies know how to do this. They tell you we are going for a retreat. Bosch should take us for a retreat. You are locked. I remember there was a time we went to Dubai. We were locked there 3 days. Nothing apart from focusing just on Africa. We dissected everything about Africa. Went through it, the numbers, the market situation, the outlook. Then we said, this is now the vision. This is how it's going to go. This is how the project is going to run. What made us succeed is there was no distraction. All these Africans, like you said, put them in a farm.
Yeah.
Lock them. Yeah, go to one of these big farmers who are doing commercial farming. They have a nice facility where people can spend the night and meet somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
They will apply themselves.
You know, we might take it lightly.
Yeah.
When we talk about distractions, but they're real.
Yeah.
And in my observation, I remember not so long ago, I was doing a presentation at an HR conference, and they were talking about their struggles with productivity in the workplace. Yeah. And I told them, you know, when you think about it, it might feel like people need more money for them to be productive. Yeah. But it's not really about the money. In actual fact, when people start earning more, they start to create a life. They create a little corporate within their own lives, right? You know, kids will be taken to certain schools, maybe one in the US or one in the UK. So their lives are quite spread. And then they will have a farm somewhere. It's not a commercial farm, but they'll have a farm somewhere where every time they have money, they go there, they spend money, they are buying cows, they're stressed about the headsmen and the fences and the boreholes, right? Now, these are people who are supposed to be thinking about the solutions for the business, but now they have created their own corporate on the side, which doesn't really make money. It's just a corporate that creates a lot of stress. So when you think about it, you will find an organization with 1,000 people, and all of these 1,000 people, they only think about work when they are at work. And normally it's about 4 hours, because the other 4 hours they are getting calls, they are on Facebook and WhatsApp, and they are calling their headsmen, they are calling their kids from schools. So those retreats are very important. You know, if we are locked in, and I saw that, I think COVID did us wonders. So many people got a turn of their lives. I myself, COVID changed everything for me, because during COVID, I was just starting out business, and business has to shut down because of COVID. And during that time, I had myself every day. I had to have a meeting with myself on a daily basis. Am I going to continue with this model of business, or should I change it? How can I leverage technology? All of these things, everything was developed during COVID. And it was those couple of months, because I was in an incubation, that I got to think. So I think we don't apply our minds until we are in a situation where there is nothing else that distracts us but to focus on that particular thing.
That is very true. I read somewhere that when necessity is placed upon you, then you are pushed to innovation. What does it mean? When it becomes absolutely necessary that you must take a certain action to remedy a situation, you'll come up with a solution. So COVID, or isolation, or staying away from disruptions or distractions will help us come up with solutions, because necessity will have been put on us. Necessity to find that solution. It's so critical, and we will deliver. Remember what the humble guy in Midrand taught me? He taught me to think humbly, like them. When necessity is put on you, you change your mindset. You think in a totally different way from your comfort zone, what you're used to doing every day, that circle. These guys who have, in some places, they call them side hustles. You're in corporate, you're employed with this company, but on the side, you have this farm you are running, or this activity. This is another small corporate. You know, that's a side hustle. But these days, I don't really talk about side hustles. You know, it's all a hustle, because you have to look at it seriously. You're burning money. You have to change it from burning money to being profitable. You don't want to just have it, you know, something to keep you busy. No. No waste. You have to be frugal. You have to be purposeful, and you have to make money. Mashli.
You have to make that money.
Yeah.
And I like that point, actually, of side hustles. Yeah. In my journey of engaging with both entrepreneurs and individuals, I'm teaching them personal finance.
Yeah.
When we try to track where the money goes, it's always going to something on the side.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of money.
Yes.
For an average person, middle income earner, over a period of 20, 25 years of working, they have probably burned more than 2 million on side things.
Yeah.
And they can't even account for that.
Yes.
So I like the fact that you're saying, look, if you are going to put money in anything, it has to be anything that produces. If it doesn't produce, you have to find another way of doing that thing. Otherwise, you are just wasting money. And money it's a resource that needs to be protected.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Guys, we have questions?
I would put it in one simple way. Humility to manage your expectations. You have to cultivate that quality of humility to manage expectation. And when you're humble, you will listen to other people's stories and you'll be able to really temper your expectations. What do I mean by this? A lot of people see the end game, the big picture. I'm going to make this money or I'm going to become this big. But they don't think of what comes first. Never put the cart before the horse. One thing that somebody must look at is whatever you are providing people or whatever you want as a solution, you have identified as a solution. Will it work? Because it's one idea, coming up with a thought, an idea, or even actually making the solution. And it's totally different from making it work. Will people buy it? People might not buy it for different reasons. You might make something that people don't want. Or it might be difficult to use. Or there is something else that has come as an alternative. So you have to be very, very keen on delivering the right solution, making what will really work. After that, you move from a development mindset, because you can get stuck in a development mindset where you're always developing. I have a friend, Peter. Peter is always telling me, Allan, remember, we don't have to cook too much because we're always cooking solutions. When you are in the technology world, you see, like, say, WhatsApp, how many times do they have updates? In a month, every other month, there is an update. You find on your WhatsApp, there is this new feature. So cooking is always going on. And Peter will tell me, yes, cooking will go on. Yeah, because I'm from technology, it's more commercial. He will tell me that, hey, now we have cooked this enough, let's roll it out. And that Peter has taught me that as an entrepreneur, you have to be balanced, so that you don't cook too much. You also have to think commercially. Now, let's make a little more money on this. How do we now make money from this new aspect that we have developed? In a nutshell, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that to succeed, you have to first of all make sure that you are building the right product, have the right product, build it, whatever it is, whether it's a solution, whatever it is. It has to be watertight. And then now balancing it off with a commercial mindset where you take it to the market. People are usually stuck on one of the two ends. Somebody is just so focused on building this great solution, he doesn't think about how he's going to roll it out, the route to market. And somebody is just thinking of the big money, just calculating, this application, my hustle app, do you know how many entrepreneurs are in South Africa, small and medium size, about 2 million. Yeah. So they just take a calculator. Okay, 2 million. Suppose we just get 10%. People like using 10% as an easy figure. Let's get 10% of this 2 million. 10% of 2 million is what?
200,000.
200,000. We are charging them 150 rands per user. 150 times 200,000. That is how much? Mind-boggling. We are going to be rich. A lot of people are stuck in that mindset. And that is where a lot of people start from. The mindset where they take a calculator and calculate and, we are in money here. And then they do reverse engineering, trying to work it back to make a solution. And then it fails. It doesn't apply in the market. No. Some people are on the other side where they're always, this thing has to be like a Mercedes. I love Mercedes-Benz. It's a good brand. Yeah? And, and he's trying to fix this and he's fixing and he's over-fixing it to be like a real top brand. No. You just have to balance everything. But what will help you is being humble to listen. Listen to other people's failures. Listen to their success. And be patient to listen. And you have to be humble. Without that, you'll quickly hear things and they'll go out and you'll go back to doing the same things over and over again. Some people define that as what? Do you know?
Insanity.
Yeah. The truth is, for most people, they don't just decide. Some situation happened that they had to make that decision. It could be a decision by the organization to reset, to change everything. It could be maybe your health, maybe family circumstances, and maybe other personal things that will tell you that, no, you cannot go on like this in a corporate situation. You have to leave. Whatever the reason, there has to be something that prompts you. It's not like you say that I'm this guy, I have all the courage. It's a scary thing, living a comfortable corporate life. Yeah. For my case, it was because the organization's strategy changed. They were changing, during COVID. COVID had a huge impact and there were a lot of layoffs. So the organization started cutting staff and we had to be cut, including Bosch. So when we were cut, Bosch was very generous, by the way, with me. They gave me a very good package, that you go home with. But nothing is ever enough. Whatever package you're given, it will end someday. So you have to be very prudent in how to manage it when you're exiting. And this can happen anytime. Circumstances can change anytime. So like you said earlier on, as we are in corporate, we have to always try and have something running on the side, something we're trying to figure out to help us continue with life beyond corporate. Fortunately, I had these things going on. I was working on this, I was working on that, And now, when I was made to leave Bosch, because of change in strategy, they were just laying off workers. I had the resources now, the finances, to be able to now do some of these things. Now I fueled the development of these products. And the same applies to anybody. When they're living a big corporate job, there has to be some source of funding to continue with their dream idea or their dream enterprise or whatever they've been working on. Something has to fuel it so that it brings returns. But nobody would just walk out of a job that, hey, I've had enough. I'm walking out. I'm going to be this big entrepreneur. No. You have to be wise. It doesn't work like that. Yes. And again, what I say, what gives you courage is humility. If you are humble, you'll say, okay, I've left this. jet set life, where I was living in this big house, paid by the company, right? And now I have to go to a smaller house. Your friends will laugh at you, the way they say in Africa. But my friends will laugh at me. What will they say of me? One Nazi Holocaust survivor, you know about the Nazi Holocaust?
Yeah.
In Germany, there were these people who were incarcerated in camps, the Jews. Yeah. One Nazi Holocaust survivor, when asked, this is somebody that I know, when asked what made them survive during the Holocaust, they said, if you stop and kick at every dog that barks at you, you won't go far. Meaning, there'll be always dogs barking. You know, in a street, when you live in an urban place with fences, people keep dogs in their houses. And as you're walking in the street, these dogs would come to the fence to bark at you. Now, if you stop to pay attention to the dogs as you're walking the street, you will walk slowly because they will always scare you. But even if they bark and you stay focused on where you're going, you will go. They will not bite you. So that is the analogy he used to explain himself. There are a lot of things to distract you in life as an entrepreneur or somebody who's starting. Do not listen to it. Stay focused, learn from other people, and keep on moving. Yeah. Well, that's a challenging one because when you're an entrepreneur, it's very difficult to have a work-life balance because you are self-employed and you're working throughout. You have clients talking to you at all times, and you also have your family needs. Your family see you there all the time with them, and they can access you and trying to have your family understand that, okay, this is work time and not family time. And when you are also with them at home, trying to juggle so that you don't take a lot of business calls or clients calling you at a time when you're supposed to be spending with them. Balancing this is not easy as an entrepreneur, but it's very critical because stable families make stable communities, and stable communities make stable nations. So I believe getting the family aspect right, getting the balance right, is a very critical recipe to having sustainable enterprises. I'll go one step forward. I have looked at a lot of companies that have come up, you know, mid-sized companies, big companies in Africa, organizations in Africa. I will not mention the names, but you could be aware of companies that have grown. And when the founder dies, then their families cannot take over and drive that organization to the next level. A lot of organizations die when the founder dies. So how do we make these organizations sustainable? The ones that are surviving are the ones that also had very strong family setup, where the founders balanced family needs with company or organization needs, blended these two in, tried having the families get involved to understand what goes on, so that today we see a lot of successful organizations like that coming up. I've seen blue chip companies that I didn't expect to go down, just because of basic things like having that input of the family right. Yeah. In my view, I think it starts with you, your expectations. What do I mean by your expectations, your view? I understand your view is that you have certain expectations, certain things you want to achieve. One needs to factor in the changing labor market. It has a strong influence on keeping the right staff, keeping them motivated. They're motivated by different things. And that is why in today's world, you hear people talking about generation, Gen Z, Gen Y, Gen what. And each generation has a new way of thinking, of doing things. And you in your generation should be able to look at things and transcend the generation and harness the strengths of different generation towards building a team. A team would have senior guys like me, I'm in my 50s, and the same team would have an 18-year-old. How you address, motivate, work with an 18-year-old is different from how you work with a 50-year-old in an organization. So as a head of an organization, if, say, you are the CEO, you are in your mid-30s, you have to understand how the dynamics work for different guys. You know that a person like me has seen a lot in life. A 50-year-old, they're focused, they're purposeful, they know about keeping deadlines and so on. But a young guy, excitement. They like instant gratification. They want it now. It has to be done in this and that way. They want more flexibility at work. They want to do their things. Sometimes you could even find them playing games on their computers during work time. This is the mindset they have. This is their generation. So by learning how these people behave, that behavioral understanding, and applying yourself into a situational management position, where by situation you mean you look at every situation that somebody is in according to their generation and you try and manage them right, might help keeping a team. There is no guarantee. But anytime you are dealing with the younger people below your generation, you have to be ready to humble yourself, calm down, and step back and look at this guy's way. How is it? And then you try and work within that. But there'll always be pain of turnover for workers. All the time. It will be constant. Yeah.
I like how you've shared your stories because I just wanted to connect the things that you are currently doing now and your history, because most of these things at times we don't plan for them.
No,
we don't plan for them. Someone can look at you, how you have built a business, and they think, hey, you probably had a solid idea of how you are going to go about this, set this one up. But truth is, some of them, they just they crop up because of certain events that have happened in the past.
Yeah.
You have spoken of your father farming, going to the farms, and how he used to teach you how to do this and that, and how business is done in the area of farming. And you also have a solution for farmers now. So it's quite interesting how things that we used to do in the past now they come to become the businesses that we form. And when we because here we try to unlock those things to get someone out there who maybe was raised by a parent who's selling maybe cartoons. To remember that, to remember the lessons then, because it's a very comfortable place to start from when you remember that, because then it helps you to move quickly from the corporate thinking to say, okay, no, but we used to do it like this. But because now I know so many other things, how we used to do it, if we can also tweak it here and grow it like this, we can then be able to scale this thing. So you do have solutions also for farmers. Can you tell us a bit about that?
In 2020, when COVID broke, I went back to Kenya to renew my visa, because I was on an expatriate visa, and the rule says you go back to your home country, renew visa, and then come back. When I was there, the doors were locked. I was locked out in the farm.
Yeah.
I could not even leave the village to go to the capital city, Nairobi. So I said, what do I do now that I'm here? There is a farm here. Yeah. So I started farming. Very interesting journey. And that led to Farmnet app, the other application that we have. Because my father came back into my mind. Because I was in the farm, I was at home. My late father was the image that I was thinking about. So this is the problem that my father was saying. These are the problems farmers were facing. Because now I'm on the ground, 8 months, what do? You go through a whole season of farming and you see the challenges. And then I said, wait a minute, this cannot go on. For how long will farmers suffer like this? Look, I'm coming from a background of technology. I'm coming from Bosch, a top German company, global company in technology. I can't even put a little of my mind, I can't apply myself a little to provide the fellow Africans with solutions. I come from Samsung, big technology behemoth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was at very top levels. I said, no, this is a joke. There must be a way out. And then one day, the alarm bells rang and I thought, oh, let's digitalize it. So we started with what is called Farm Management Solution, the first basic app that we had. We tried it. It was just for record keeping. It worked. We went to the next level, provide advisory services to farmers. We added that advisory services onto the application. It worked. Then provide market access, because over 35% of agricultural produce, crops, perish post-harvest. You know automatically as a farmer, you're going to lose 35%. These are staggering figures.
Yeah, it's too much.
So how do we help with right market access to sort this out? So we just put it all together to provide the three solutions of helping with production, helping with market access, and helping with business development on the farmers farmers application called Farmnet. And we released it for use. Right now, about 1,100 people are using it here in South Africa as we speak. Yes, and we are getting traction day by day. We are happy with that. Yeah, at least for me, my target was, apart from myself, has it helped one other person? Now I'm saying, apart from myself, it has helped 1,100 plus one, me, because I'm also a farmer. Right.
That's an incredible journey, Allan.
Yeah.
So what should we expect next?
I would expect next to be able to give people a chance to use my Hustle app to turn their economic activities to sustainable ventures, specifically small and medium-sized enterprises. I want them to be able to say that just like that Magwenya guy grew from one selling point, one employee, to 6 selling points, having several employees. In this case, he had 12. I don't know what yours will be, but I want us to be able to repeat these successes and go sharing this story so that we can develop more entrepreneurs and reduce this circle of failure. Over 90% of entrepreneurs in Africa collapse within 5 years. Staggering figures. Can we allow this? No. The governments are doing a good job trying to provide resources, but the governments are also challenged with return on investment, tracking return on investment. Development partners pour in funds year in, year out. They don't have a very solid system. There are systems, yes, but they feel there should be a better system of tracking and managing the dispensation of these resources and then monitoring and evaluation of impact. So I'm looking forward to people being able to use this application, my Hustle app, to help them to put a smile on the faces of their families. We have to put milli on the table.
No, it's important.
Yes.
And all of this requires that we change our mindsets.
Yeah.
And also know that our business is just like any other business that has grown.
Yeah.
We start somewhere, but we need to have controls in place.
Yeah.
So, Allan, where can people find you if they want to reach out?
They can go to the website, www.myhustle.africa, and they will find a contact page there. They can reach us. They can also talk to Masheleng,
Yes.
our very good host, who has made this happen. And Masheleng will tell them about what happens next after the hustle, what goes beyond the hustle. They can also talk to you and I. We have social media handles available to communicate with us, and we will be glad to be able to talk to anybody who's interested in advisory service, being a partner, or just working with us to the benefit of our entrepreneurs for posterity.
Wonderful. Yeah. Allan, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.